What's up, guys? I hope y'all are having a fantastic week. Hope you guys are having a good day. I hope you're out there crushing it, staying positive, making things happen. And most importantly, I hope everybody is enjoying their lives because that's what life is all about. It's meant for us to enjoy it. And even through the hardships and the struggles and the strife and the letdown and all the bad stuff that happens that comes along with the price of living life, you can still find comfort, peace, and fulfillment and joy. Intro is Intro's over. All right, guys. I want to talk today about procrastination, or just simply avoidance of uh, hard hard things in your life. I don't really have a good way to put a title to this. I'll figure it out once I'm posting the video. But what I'm trying to say is, a lot of times I've noticed in my own life and in other people's lives, we we don't do things because we're operating with some sort of level of fear, whether that's a fear of the unknown, um, fear that something's going to be bad or worse than our current situation, those sorts of things. So let's say, let me just give you a few examples of what I'm talking about here. Um, let's say let's say you're running low on money and you're scared to check your bank account balance because you're scared to see how much money you actually have left in there, and you'd rather just pretend and not know what the number is and go through life until your fucking credit card gets declined somewhere. Or let's say, you're thinking about going on this weight loss journey. You know that you're really really overweight, but you don't know what the number is. You think your number is like, let's say, 250 pounds. Um, and so you're thinking in your head you're probably 250, but you don't want to get on the scale because you're terrified to see 267 pounds or whatever it probably is, right? A lot of times, what I've noticed in my own life and in other people's lives is that we avoid these sorts of things that really aren't that big of a deal and are better to know than to not know. Right. And what happens when we avoid these things is we actually create more harm than good. I'm coming to find out. So if you're terrified to check your bank account because you don't want to see that you only have $97 left for the next 2 weeks, and instead you just try to not buy things, or you're just going and buying things and doing this mental math, but you really don't know how much money you have. So spend $4 here at 7-Eleven, and you spend $15 on your Chick-fil-A order. You try to buy $30 worth of ramen noodles to get you through the week or whatever it is, right? um, you cause yourself a lot more stress and a lot more harm. It does a lot more harm and bad than it does good by not addressing these things head on and being proactive. When you be proactive and you address these things for like from the early outset, like head on, you can save yourself a tremendous amount of stress. Um, because a lot of that fear builds up in the anticipation of finding out what it is, um, that may be the problem. So let's say you go to the doctor and you've been having some, I don't know, some stomach issues, and the doctor says, "Well, we need to send you to a specialist because it could be, uh, you could be having an autoimmune disease. You could be having like gallbladder stuff. We might need to remove that. Da da da. We don't know yet." You leave the doctor in complete fear, and you never schedule that next appointment. And you continue to have stomach pains and stomach aches, right? And who knows what's going on with you? It could just be a diet thing. It could be a number of things. But in your head, you're thinking, I don't really want to know what the truth is. A lot of people can't. really handle the truth for some reason. They shy away from it. At least it seems like they do. Right, but so you never end up scheduling the appointment, or you put it off for like 3 or 4 months, and the entire time, every time you think about calling to make that appointment, you get this nervous feeling and this like, well, it's better for me not to know than it is, to know. When what might happen is you might actually schedule the appointment and go to it, 1 week or whatever, 2 weeks later, and find out that there's nothing really wrong. And then maybe you do an allergy test and you find out that, oh, you're allergic to, I don't know, something that you've been eating, mildly allergic to it, or like you find out that you're intolerant to dairy. So you cut that out of your diet, and then boom, it all goes away and you feel good. When you could have figured that out and saved yourself 3 months worth of worrying. Instead, you put that one thing off and were not proactive about it, caused yourself a lot of harm. I hope this makes sense for you guys. Basically, what I'm trying to say is if you have problems in life, it's always, always going to be better if you face them head on. You do not let them spiral out of control. You don't let them uh, linger. If you need to go get your blood drawn to see, what's going on, you should go on and do it instead of waiting and waiting and waiting and being terrified, to get your blood drawn for the needles or whatever. Um, if it's a financial thing, like it's better for once you realize you have a problem with your finances, you should immediately sit down, check all how much money you have, find out what your expenses are, what you can cut back on, what you can sell in your house if you need to, where you can pick up extra hours, create a budget, see, all that stuff from the beginning as soon as possible, being proactive to avoid this harm. Now, the other thing that I want to put with this too, this is kind of like a side note, or maybe it's not exactly relevant or specific to what I'm saying here, but if you're ever in a situation where you think you might get reprimanded, or you think you might get in trouble or something like that, or you think that there might be some sort of an issue or a problem that arises from the situation, guys, it's best to just be honest and tell the truth about what's going on. If you're having troubles with a car payment, you don't know if you're going to be able to make the car payment because some weird thing happened with your bank, and you didn't get paid on the holiday when you thought you would, or whatever, like blah blah blah. It's better to just go to whoever you make your car payment to and say, hey, I don't think I'm going to be able to make my payment on time. I can do a portion of it. I can do this, that, and the other, but this is what happened. I'm so sorry. This is the only time that it'll happen. Of course, don't fucking lie. And this is going to be a reoccurring thing, but like go to them and say, hey, this is my situation. I'm really struggling right now. If you are struggling, XYZ, boom, lay it out. What are my options? Can I do this? Can I do this? And what you'll find out is if you tell the truth for something like that, and you're proactive and you get in front of it, you're not like reactive, like, well, it's too late. If you would have told us 2 weeks ago, then maybe we could have helped you, but we can't now. If you're proactive and you're honest and you tell the truth and you're genuine and sincere and you're not a fucking piece of shit, what you're going to find is that human nature is to help one another. I believe that we sincerely want to help each other. When we find somebody is in a hard spot or a rough spot, I think the vast majority uh, of us want to help. So what you'll find is if you go somewhere and you say, "Hey, I need help with this," boom, boom, boom. This is the truth. This is what I have. I'm very genuine about it. I'm being proactive. Whatever. You're going to find that you might get a little bit more leeway than you would if you didn't address it as early as possible. And if you try to just hide it and go behind its back or whatever. So I hope this makes sense. The key takeaways that you should have from this video are: if you have a problem or an issue or a challenge that you have to face, it is always better to face it head on, proactively, as soon as possible. This is what uh, good leaders do, and this is what people who are responsible do. It's always better to handle these things as soon as you possibly can. Um, Nip it in the bud, right? Have you ever heard that? If you're from the South, you probably heard somebody say you need to nip that in the bud, which means don't let it grow. Like if a plant, you nip it at the bud, you cut it at its like root, so it doesn't continue to grow and grow and grow and become a worse problem. And the other takeaway here is just tell the truth, be genuine and honest about your situations, and employ a little bit of vulnerability. And I think you'd be surprised at how much people are willing to help you, and how much leniency you might get if you use that strategy in conjunction with being proactive from the outset. I think that's going to help you guys out a lot when you are facing difficult times in your life. So that's it for the video today. I hope that makes sense. Comment, like, subscribe, share the video. Let me know what you think. And until next time, stay blessed. Peace.